Life is precious, and we all have the opportunity of living it to the fullest. Unfortunately, so few of us know how to manage it all. How do we account for our opportunities? How do we account for our time? How do we account for our relationships, health, spirituality, homes, finances, influence, and careers? How do we account for the one life we have to live? I am so glad you asked. In this program, you will find answers to all of these questions and more. Welcome to the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore.
What's happening, everybody? What's happening? I want to welcome you back to another episode of the Account for Your Life podcast. Jay Moore, the healthy accountant, helping you to account for your life. Happy November the 1st, guys. We are officially 61 days until we close out 2022. Can you believe it? Whoa. Wow. I can't look. In January, I remember 2022 starting, and here we are, November. So, guys, let's finish off this year strong. And today, look, man, here's what we're talking about. I'm going to start with light. The light will expose you, but the light will expose me. And I was thinking about this last night as I was preparing for this. I said, man, talking about light, like, what does that mean? And I was just kind of reminded of some things that happened last year and kind of some things that's happening this year and some things that's previously happened. And I'm going to share those things with you because I think that when it comes to light, we just got to understand some basic things. I'm going to share that with you today. And hopefully you're going to get some value from that, guys. If you are an early stage entrepreneur, business owner, you will probably encounter something called taxes. And so today I want to just let you know that this program is brought to you by Living Free Financial Services, which we help individuals, business owners who are bootstrapping, who are really trying to grow. But here's the thing, tax is going to come up every single year. And you want to make sure that you do not waste money on taxes. It just means that, it's not the only thing that you should be focused on. You shouldn't even have to focus on this. You just want to make sure this is done. You want to make sure you do these things so that you don't lose the money. I've seen well and good business owners lose $20,000, $30,000 in 1 year because of this. So go to taxrewardschallenge.com. Go there. You actually get the recordings of a challenge that we did which you get bonuses as well. The bonuses from in that challenge is that you're going to get the 8 strategies that you must master as a small business owner. You get those, right? And then you're going to get resources that's going to help you to manage these things, right? At least until you can pay us, right? But in the meantime, you got to be aware of this, or else you're going to overpay and it's going to be ugly. And you're going to come and say, Jay, how can I get it back? I'm going to say, I don't know. Because if you would have just taken the class, it's only $297. Well, it used to be $97. And, that's the regular price. So $297, you're going to save, you could potentially save $5,000, $10,000 just by implementing those strategies. All right, I'm going to jump into the program today because that's why we're here. We're not here to just talk about that. So the light will expose you. And I was thinking about this. And the first thing I had to just kind of look at was, let me look at my scripture. Let me go and look at what my man God has to say about light. He says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. I want you to consider this. Now, it's funny because I've talked about light this year, but not in this context. Because, guys, we are living in a dark world. If we're living in a dark world, how in the world are you going to be able to be the light in a dark world? That's the question we have to ask ourselves today. I'm asking myself, how can I be light? How can I be a place where when I show up into the room, people are like, yo, oh my goodness, Jay Moore just showed up. What in the world is going on? It's so bright in here. Something's happening that I just couldn't imagine wow, how did you do that? It's not how I did it. It's who I'm with. Guys, you ever been on look, I played on basketball teams. And because I played on basketball teams, look, we had to play together. We had to play together in order to win the game. And as I was reminiscing this past weekend, I was watching the basketball game at the alma mater. And I'm sitting there watching, like, I remember playing the game. Me and one of my good friends, Damon Allen, we were talking, Jason Banks, and I was talking to James Goff, and we were just sitting there looking like, man, do you remember this? We used to be doing this. I'm 51, man. I ain't doing that no more. I wish I could, but I just don't have the agility that, I can still run, but I can't run that fast. I can still jump, but I can't jump. No, I can't even tip what I used to be able to do. But because here's the thing, we played as a team, and when you're on a good team, here's what happened. Everybody gets good. That's my point. When you're on a good team, everybody gets good. So my point is, I'm on the team that represents light. And when you're on the team that represents light, you can't help but be light. It's funny, my brother was talking to me, actually it was Sunday. If you didn't catch Sunday's podcast, you should go check it out. I had some cool pictures that I showed during that podcast. I showed a picture of myself when I was dark. Literally, I was dark. I was darker. Like today, you look at my face, you say, Jay, you look lighter. Some people, but you look at those pictures, I was darker. Like I was dark on the inside. I wasn't quite the person that I am today. I didn't know what I possessed back in 2014 when I initially started on my health journey. And so here's the thing. Here's what God did. God said, let there be light. Let there be light. Now, guys, anytime light shows up, darkness has to flee. You should write this down for yourself. Anytime light shows up, darkness has to flee. When the light showed up into my life, guys, I'm gonna tell you what darkness had to leave, because I'm not proud of the person who I was, but there was a person before I came into the light. I was a thief. Yes, I was a thief. I was a cool thief. I was one of these thieves that, white collar thieves. I was looking up some of the greatest accounting scandals that's ever been, and some of the greatest thieves were accountants and are accountants. Be honest. I'm serious. Some of the greatest thieves, because they understand how to thief. They understand one of the things, I think I'm going to do this in my next challenge. I'm going to talk, because my next challenge is called the Good Accounting Challenge. But here's the thing. It's not about financial accounting per se. It's about everything. And so I was looking at some of the big things that's happened in business that has caused these accountants to have these scandals. Was that they would forge documents? They would skim off the top. They would lie. They would cheat. Like literally, that's what they did. And here's the thing. What's going to stop somebody, even somebody like me? What's going to stop somebody like me from being that way? The light. The light can stop you, because once the light comes in, the light says, get out, darkness. See, when I read this text, in the beginning, God created heaven and the earth was without form and void, darkness upon the face of the deep. The spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters, and God said, let there be light. He came into my life and he said, let there be light, Japheth Moore. Let there be light. And then it says right after that, and there was light. See, today, what I want to share with you, and what I am sharing with you, is when light shows up, darkness has to run. When the light showed up, when light shows up, everything is exposed. See, in 2017, when the assignment was given, guys, yesterday we talked about mission. Mission is an important assignment. Mission is what everyone gets when the light shows up in our life. And everyone's going to get a mission. What is that mission? That mission is whatever it is. Whatever it is, God will look into your life. The light will come in. The light will expose everything. The light will say, oh my goodness, look at you. You've graduated from college and you have a degree in accounting. We can use that. Look at that. You're a CPA. You even have a license there. We can use that. Oh my goodness. You went to Christian schools all your life. We can use that. Hey, you've been a parent. You've been a husband. You've been this. But then they look around and say, wait a second. Oh, you're drinking that stuff. Oh, we don't need that anymore. Oh, you're smoking that stuff. We don't need that anymore. Oh, you used to think like that. Oh, we don't need that anymore. And it starts getting rid of all the stuff it doesn't need. And then what happens is one day you look at me like all those things are gone. I used to wonder. I used to wonder how in the world. I said, guys, if you're a Christian, come on now. Hold on. Let me see who's listening. I think somebody's on here. What's up, Sonja? What's up, Sonia? Hi, man, look, Sonia knows what I'm talking about. Right. So if you've been a Christian, and I'm using that word loosely because I'm not a Christian, I'm a kingdom ambassador, kingdom citizen. So if you've been a Christian, then you would know that at some point they were like, man, Jesus is coming back soon, and you got to be ready. And I used to wonder, man, how in the world can I be saved? That's what I worried about. How in the world could I be saved? I was so worried about being saved that I wouldn't do anything, one. And then I would try and read the Bible. I didn't understand it. You know, my parents would say, oh, you got to do it this way. And I just did not get it. And so it's like, how in the world is that even possible? I didn't think it was possible, to be honest, because I looked around. I said, I don't see any power. I didn't see any healings. I didn't see any, I did see some miraculous things. I saw some things because we came from where we came from. My parents didn't have any money. They sent us to private school, paying all this money. And I don't know how they did it. So there were some miracles that happened. But I was still trying to figure out this whole being saved thing. I didn't understand it. Jesus coming back. Oh my goodness, am I going to be ready? And I remember living at a time in my life, it was gray. Have you ever lived in a gray area? Come on now. If you've been living for a little while, you probably lived in the gray area for a while, meaning I was neither cold nor hot. If I was a Christian, I didn't claim it a whole lot. If I wasn't, I kind of didn't go on either side. I was like in the middle. I thought that was cool. Then the light showed up and says, what is your problem? That's what the light said. See, light will expose you and light will question your beliefs that you don't even know what you believe. That's what the light told me. Look, if you're going to be with us, team, if you're going to be on this team, then you're going to have to know. Guys, I'm talking about my own life, and I do that on purpose. I do that on purpose, right? Until your testimony for this podcast, I'll talk about yours, right? Because at the end of the day, all I can do right now is talk about me. They said, well, one of, I think it was Alex Hormozy. He's a really successful guy. He talks about, man, he says, go do stuff and then talk about what you did. So all I can do is talk about what I'm doing. So that's why I talk about my stories. So here it is. The light is trying to figure out what in the world I believe. And then light says, look, all right. You got it. You got us mixed up. I said, I do? Yeah, you got us mixed up. Look at this statement here. He says, and God saw the light and it was good. Then he divided the light from the darkness. Then he called it light. Then he called light day. He called darkness night. And the evening and morning was first day. He says, you don't even understand that text. You don't even understand what I'm out here doing. But then he just says, all right, look, you can see right from wrong. Now let's focus on living your life based on the principles. What are the principles? Treat people good. Love your father with all your heart. That's it. He says, if you do those two things, I will be with you. See, today, what we have to know is that no matter what darkness came into our life, it was inevitable. We had to come out of the dark. We lived in the dark, and it was nothing that we could do about it. But once the light shows up, then the light just gives us a choice. The light says, hey, love the light with all your heart and all your mind. Love your fellow man as yourself. And if you do those two things, we will stay with you, and your life will never, ever be the same again. I chose the light today. Guys, yes, I was a thief. I was a cheat. I was I used marijuana. I used alcohol for a long time. I did it all. I frequented places I had no business going. I did all sorts of things in my young days when it came to, sex and all. I'm just exposing it all, right? Because the light says those things have passed away and you have become new. Because the newness comes because you just accept light. And so I'm thankful today. I'm thankful that the light exposed me, but what I saw, what the light showed me was who I could be in the light. He says, if you go with us, this is who you will be. And I said, yo, that's a cool arrangement. Let's go. So let's do it. He gave me this podcast, said, go share the good news with others. This is the good news, guys, of account for your life. I never use the word accounting, and there's a reason why I don't use that, because account is singular. You must account for singular for your life. You, me. And when we account for our life, then the light shows up. And the light takes us exactly to where we should be. Guys, if you got value from today's episode, make sure you comment, like, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Make sure you follow the page. All those good things that people do when they like things that, they're getting value from. And don't forget, I'm Jay Moore. My life, mission, and purpose in life is to help you to account for yours. God bless, and I will see you on the next episode. Peace.
Thanks for joining us, listening friends. We are so glad you invested this time with us. Always remember, you only have one life to live, so live it to the fullest. This has been the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore. Until next time, make it a great day.